Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's broadcast of Jackie Straight Up. You know, I love to talk about the benefits of love, even if it's temporary love, and great sex, and all things romance. And so lately I've noticed that there have been some fairly cynical comments left under my videos on YouTube by guys who are feeling rather disgruntled with their dating lot, as it were, and a lot of blame and self-pity going on. So I just wanted to address that. It's not as though I'm not empathetic, sympathetic to people who have a difficult time in life in whatever area that may be. I am. But at some point, it benefits us more than anybody else to have a great attitude no matter what. Attitude is determining your luck in life and in the dating world and in love way more than anything else. And so if you're feeling really down on your luck and, oh, it's easy for you to say, it's just so simple, and, you know, I've had my heart broken and women are this and that and the next thing, I want to encourage you to maybe read a couple more books like Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, or follow a guy like Nick Santanastasso on Instagram, who was born with no legs and one arm and is now a speaker and coach who's only 27 years old and has really made a huge success of his life. And I've seen plenty of pictures and videos of him with some pretty darn hot women, because he has decided to make the most of his life no matter what. In fact, I saw him saying this the other day, and it just is so pertinent for now. So I'm going to quote him on an Instagram post where he says, if you approach everything in life to gain a lesson or to gain a gift, you will never lose. And so that sort of makes me think of my theory in life, which is everything is neutral. It's the story we give it that gives it meaning. We choose the story that we are putting onto every circumstance or event in our lives. And so what story are you going to choose? It's not as though I've never had my heart broken. My goodness, I've experienced some really severe trauma, something that happened to somebody that I love so deeply. And I had to deal with not only watching that person go through what they went through, but losing them in the process. And you know, multiple other times. I mean, I don't think there's a person on the planet who hasn't been rejected once or twice in this game of love. It happens. And your attitude and how quickly you bounce back is going to determine the entire course of your life. Because it's the story that you're giving something that's giving it meaning, and that's determining what you're going to experience in your life going forward. You know, if we choose to focus on negative in our life, we experience a very negative life. If we choose to focus on positive things in our life and what is going well, we start to live a positive, enjoyable life. It is a choice. And I know that people who are going through a hard time right now don't want to hear that. They want to blame women, or they want to blame men, or they want to blame the fact that they weren't born lucky. One guy said, oh, I don't have a fancy car or money to take women on a nice date. Well, some of the greatest love affairs I've ever had have been with men who didn't have any of that stuff. So that's just a sad story that I would encourage you, if you are one of those people who are sticking with that, to change it and to shift and say, what is the lesson in this for me? Or what is the gift here for me? And maybe the gift is to develop your personality. Maybe the gift is to become more successful, because that's going to serve you down the road, not just to make women happy. So when we look for the gifts and things, that's when we grow. That's when our life starts to feel so much better to us. There is no one who goes through life unscathed if they are lucky enough to live into adulthood. We all experience loss, heartache, trauma, all of these things. This is a part of being alive on the planet. And so what we need to do with that is to look at it and say, okay, this happened. There's a level of acceptance that's required with stuff that doesn't work out for us in life. Accepting something is very different to being resigned to it in your future. If you accept a situation and you don't resign yourself to be in that situation forever, and you make some changes to improve your life, starting with the story that you're giving everything, life gets so much better and so much sweeter. And the whole point of my younger man video was that I loved the fact that younger men tend to be more optimistic and glass half full as opposed to half empty, because they haven't yet experienced enough things to make them cynical. But it's our choice as to whether we go down that cynical path or not. And that brings me to the most amazing quote that I got from a guy, or a comment that I got from a man who is older. In fact, he's 66. And he was watching my younger man video for some reason. And he said, "You've made me think I'm going to change my attitude. I'm going to change the way I am. I didn't realize that my negativity was causing my lack of luck in love." But it is. Our attitudes about everything and anything determine the quality of the life that we lead. So it is always a choice. And again, if you think that you've got it bad and that nobody else understands, go and follow Nick. Read Man's Search for Meaning, and you will see bad things happen to good people. Stuff happens in life. The question is not whether stuff will happen. You'll get rejected, you'll suffer loss, you'll suffer some heartache. If you live long enough, the question is not that whether that will happen or not. The question is, what is your attitude going to be about it? Are you going to look at it and say, this was a lesson for me, or this was somehow, even though I don't see it right now, I know that adversity is a gift. Your attitude will determine your luck in love and in life. Don't be thinking you're alone in the world with your problems. You're not. Your problems are valid. Your problems are real to you. And so start by accepting them. Allow yourself to feel the pain and to have a hissy fit if necessary. But then snap out of it when you realize that you are the only one that you are hurting with your bad attitude. It's determining your life. So don't let rejection or heartbreak ruin your life. You have a choice. Rejection is always divine intervention or protection, whichever way you want to look at it. Allow life to show you what's right and what's wrong. And everybody has shit. It is a part of life. Wallow in it for a moment and then say, what can I do in my life to feel better about me? It's the story you're giving everything that's giving it meaning. Anyway, that was just on my heart today. So I hope it helps those of you who needed it. And keep the comments coming. I do enjoy reading them. And remember, no matter your age, it's your attitude that determines your luck in life. Go have a great attitude. Change the way you look at things and go get lucky. I'll see you next time. Bye.